All right, guys. Good morning, everyone. Hey, we're Tuesday, April the 29th, on our agency growth Tuesday meeting. And here's the topic, guys. This is what I asked our guests to come join us today, and mainly because I started using their service. And the question from agents is this. Okay. So I was explaining to Nolan, and I'll get you introduced here in a minute. But I always tell agents, being a one-man show is okay. You can get away with it for a while, but at some point, you're going to get bogged down. You're going to get bogged down with service. It just happens. It's just the nature of the beast. You can't always keep writing. At some point, if you don't take care of what you've written, you're going to lose. Okay, so something is going to give. Your production is going to slow down so you can service, or you're going to say, hell with service, and you're going to keep producing. And all you're going to be doing is one step forward and one step back because you're losing people out the back door. So what it boils down to is at some point, you got to make the decision to hire. And it's a big decision. I mean, I even struggle with it after 25 years hiring because it costs you money. So the one question with agents is, all right, do I want to get there and then hire, or do I want to hire and then get there hopefully quicker? So that's a tough decision to make. But the decision is, and once you're trying to figure out which way you're going to go, you've got to find that new hire. You got to figure out if that hire that you want, what are you going to have them do? And then secondly, you got to find the right person for that job. Okay. For example, you don't want to put a sales producer, somebody who loves the thrill of the sell and gets out there and has that ability. You don't want to stick that person in a customer service position. They're gonna be looking for that other position, and they're going to leave you, or vice versa. Okay, you don't want to put a customer service personality kind of person into a sales position. They're going to hate it. So you got to find that right trait for that person. And since we're talking about traits, well, hell, this is where ideal traits comes in. Nolan, man, thank you for being on today's call with agents. We've got agents from all over the country. We've got a few P&C guys that are doing life health. We've got a lot of life guys that got into the health side. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what kind of agent. At some point, if you want to start increasing your production, getting up there with the bigger players, you have got to bring on staff. And you might as well start off the right way. Nolan, ideal traits. Man, tell us a little bit about you and tell us something about ideal traits, man.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We got Nathan here too as well. So Nate, if
Okay,
you want to introduce
Nathan,
yourself real quick, and then I'll hop in.
you're still muted, Nathan. Bottom left, man, you got that mute button.
Something's going on. All right. Anyways, we'll
All
pick it
right,
up
he's
with
out.
Nate
We'll
here
use
when
hand signals, bro.
yeah, when he's able to figure it out. Maybe using the chat. Who knows? But anyways, guys, my name's Nolan Duda. It's great to be here this morning. I appreciate y'all for hopping on too as well. I'm the client experience manager for Ideal Trade, so I oversee our sales, support, marketing, retention, and education departments, and have been with the company for just about 6 years now. So, what we're going to work through, and I'm actually going to show you how everything works, is Ideal Traits, as Luis had mentioned. And really, the greatest investment that you can make into your offices today is investing into people, because they are the difference maker into really helping you accomplish the goals and the ambitions that you have, not just for this year, but for years to come. So we're going to talk about a lot of great things about how we can really help you make staffing not as invasive. A lot of times when people talk about hiring, it's, I don't have the time, I don't have the money to invest into it, it's too much stress, like all these different things, because as business owners, we didn't generally open up our businesses to be recruiters. Right. So how can we make that process easier for you? It's through streamlining your process with Ideal Trades. So we are an insurance focused company. We were originally founded in 2012, actually, by three insurance agents. And it's pretty simple. They just saw a better need for hiring in the insurance space. So when we originally were founded back in 2012, we were just assessments. So people would come to us, they would purchase a package of assessments. They would equip those assessments, use them, and then reach out to us when they need more. But as times have evolved, so has ideal traits, and it's become so much more, as you can see here. So nowadays, we truly are a four-in-one solution. We can help you with really everything from the initial stages of creating a job ad and posting it to the end stages of sending out offer letters and background checks. But through this four-in-one solution, we've been able to help over 18,000 agents hire over 85,000 staff. And I am excited to show you exactly how we're going to be able to do that. Now, I know something that Luis is going to want to get into maybe towards the end is how do I pay people and how do I put together the compensation plan? And generally, when we're met with those questions at Ideal Trades, because again, we predominantly work with insurance agencies of all kinds, we're met with, hey, in my market, what do I need to be offering in order to be competitive in my area, right? Because you can build a compensation plan, but what does it take to truly be competitive in that area that you're in? Because again, you're broadcasted all across the country. So I'm going to put this link in the chat here in a second, and this is our competitor benchmark report. So it's a pretty simple form, as you can see: name, business address, phone number, email, and then the position that you're hiring for. When you fill out this form based off of your business and off of your organization, our system is then going to gather information for you, which is going to do three things. One, it's going to let you know in your zip code what you need to be offering from a compensation perspective to be competitive. Two, it's going to let you know from a health or from a benefit standpoint what you need to be offering to label yourself as the position of choice. And then three, we're also going to send you a sample job ad too as well that you can use based off the position that you're hiring for, whether it's a sales rep, customer service rep, sales manager, or maybe other. Okay. So fill out this form when you get a second. And then by the time that we're done presenting here today, you're going to receive that into your inbox for you to be able to take a look at that information to, again, position yourself to be competitive from a compensation standpoint, the employer of choice from a benefit standpoint, and then you're going to have a job ad sample today that you can take and use whether you use Ideal Traits or not. Okay, and we'll talk about the benefits to why it's going to make most sense for you to want to use Ideal Traits. So again, back to this four-in-one solution, founded in 2012, helped over 18,000 agents, hire over 85,000 staff. I'll go ahead and log in here and show you all what it looks like to seamlessly use Ideal Traits and get your process started. But Luis, is there anything specific that you wanted me to cover before I jump into it?
No, I think you are right on, man. I think it's good
Okay.
to know that number one, when I was doing it,
Yeah.
the AI chat helped me with the
Yes.
post for, I was looking for a customer service rep and I was looking for a producer, somebody's going to help sell.
Yeah.
So the help with posting that ad was really good, or creating the ad.
Yes.
So yeah, I think you're right on, man. You're going the right way.
Perfect. Let's take a look. So once you get your Ideal Traits account established, you're then going to have an email and a password that you use to log in, as you can see here. Okay. Once I log in, I'm then going to be immediately launched into my main candidate screen. Now, what you're seeing here is our internal account that we use for Ideal Traits. As I mentioned, I oversee those 5 departments. So currently, I'm looking for some more salespeople to join our team. But all of the candidates, no matter where they apply from directly through Ideal Traits, they will be funneled into your main candidate screen. And on the left-hand side, you're able to fully customize the stages to be able to meet your process, right? Let's say that you're hiring for multiple positions at the same time. We don't want you to get cluttered, right? So customizing the left-hand side can allow you to break that up by position and to be able to filter as such. But of course, the first step in the process is getting that job ad created and getting it posted. So as you can see here, once you get loaded into the job screen, you're then going to be met with this, maybe any old job ads that you posted before. But for all of us that are starting new, we're simply just going to click this add new button here. Now, once we've done that, we're then going to get immediately launched into the job ad builder, right? Which is going to give us just some really basic things here at the beginning. That's going to help us fill out the job ad and the information. So company location, if you have multiple locations here, we can add those in. Position, again, if you're hiring for multiple positions at the same time, you're going to want to differentiate who's applying to what. Let's go ahead and create a sales ad because everybody should be looking for good salespeople. Job category, this is where your job is going to be categorized on the job boards. And I'll get into the job boards that we post to here in just a second. So we'll just do sales to keep it consistent. Job type will be full-time, part-time, or either. And then you have a choice to display the salary as a range or a single number. Generally, I recommend that range. If you do choose not to disclose, you're going to be put on the bottom tier of Indeed and ZipRecruiter and how they go about it, because a lot of it is compensation driven. So again, be transparent with your compensation. A range is what I recommend. And then make sure that you're factoring in your expectation against the compensation plan that you have built. For instance, let's say that if someone's meeting my expectation in their first year of working at my business, they're going to make $65,000 in that year. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create brackets around that. We're going to do 55 to 75,000. A little bit of underperforming, obviously overperforming, and then obviously the middle would be meeting your expectation. We're going to indicate that it's going to be per year. And then here we're going to just justify the salary. So for most of us, our positions are going to be base salary plus commission plus bonuses. That is the most attractive way to go about your compensation, especially for sales. But if you do happen to be hiring for a commissioned only position, you can still post that through Ideal Traits. But as you can see here, it will require a sponsorship, something I'll talk about here in just a second. Okay, so once you do this, if you're hiring remotely, great. Your job ad's going to broadcast across the whole country. If you're hiring really hybrid remote, it'll broadcast in your state that you're located in. And then, of course, no will just broadcast in the 25-mile radius around your office location. Okay, so reach out to us if you have some questions about that. But through Ideal Traits, you'll be able to post up to 5 different job ads. So you can get creative here and post some different things to weigh out all the different options that are out there. So then you can pick and choose which direction you want to take it. One of the best things that can happen to us in recruiting is when we have options, right? Because we want to hire candidates that we want, not candidates that we need. There is a big difference there. So making sure that you have options is something that can put you in a position to hire from strength. Okay, so again, first half here is just really plug and play. All right. The second half is where we get into the creative side of it. So we're going to keep it pretty simple here. We're just going to do insurance sales representative. We want to hit on that search engine optimization. We want to be as attractive as possible, but really we want to focus on what most people are searching for. And then again, with your job description, responsibilities, and requirements, this is where we have options. So as you can see, if you have a job ad that you really like, you can copy and paste that in. You can type one out completely yourself if you choose to, however you'd like to go about it. Or if you filled out that competitor benchmark report, you can take that sample and fill it in here too as well to save yourself some time. We do have insurance-specific templates that are here for you to use. As you can see, as I scroll, there's an abundance of templates that we've put together and created and curated for you to be able to use. But as Luis had mentioned at the very beginning, our fan favorite tool is the AI. Plain and simple. Because what's going to happen once I click generate, it's going to take all the information that I filled out above, as well as my company description, and it's going to create that job description, responsibilities, and requirements for me in about 10 to 15 seconds. Okay. So then really, once it's obviously been populated, the hardest thing for me to do is to read through it, make sure it's depicting exactly what I'm looking to say, and then read through it to personalize it a little bit. So as you can see, as I was talking, we have our job ad that's been created. Okay. So when we talk about saving you time in this process without really compromising on your effectiveness, this is what we're talking about, tools and resources that are helping you make this process a whole lot easier. So again, the hardest thing you have to do is just read through it and make sure that it works for you. The coolest thing about this AI feature is not that it happens in 10 seconds. It's that no 2 job ads will ever be created the same. So you could have every single insurance agent in the country using Ideal Traits and all of them looking for an insurance sales rep. As I mentioned before, everybody should be looking for more salespeople, but everybody could use it to create a sales ad. All of those would be unique and different from one another, because the last thing we want is to have job ads that all just look the same, because then we don't stand out. Then we're just one job ad amongst a million other ones that are the same, right? So how can we position ourselves to be unique, to be different? Part of it is going to be on you, right? You have to think about what makes your opportunity a destination for top performers. And you have to incorporate that into your job ad. And of course, we're here to help you with that too as well. When you go through this process, your onboarding and your ongoing support that you're able to do through your subscription. Now, for benefits, this is pretty simple. We have some cookie cutter benefits that are here for you: paid time off, flexible schedule, insurance offered as a part of the position, hands-on training, Monday through Friday schedule, career growth, right? You get the point. So at this point, this is where I see a lot of businesses sell themselves short, because we're doing a lot of things that maybe aren't very big, but we're not indicating them as a benefit, right? One that I commonly see come up is providing office snacks and coffee, right? This can be something that you can add in as a benefit, right? Something simple like birthdays off can go a long way to being a unique benefit that not a lot of offices offer, right? Or something like team lunches, or it could be quarterly incentives, right? Or quarterly team building, as you can see here, right? So adding in as many benefits as you can think of. And if, again, you need some help, reach out to us. We're happy to always help you put together some benefits that maybe you're not thinking of. But don't sell yourself short here. You're doing a lot of things for your employees today that you're most likely going to continue to do that you're not indicating as a benefit. When applicants are first looking at job ads, the things they're looking at most are, is it remote or not? What is the compensation plan? What are the benefits? They don't care about the requirements. They don't care about the responsibilities. Most often, if you're looking for a good qualified applicant, they already know what an insurance sales representative does. They already know what an insurance account manager does, right? But what's the most attractive to them? What makes your position a destination? Things like the compensation, the benefits, and your remote work flexibility if possible. Okay. Those are the things I would highlight the most. So once you've got the benefits added, you're good to go. And then once you click continue, you're then going to get launched into our pre-qualifying question section. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly and pretty easy because it's pretty straightforward. These are questions that you can have candidates answer before submitting their application. So if you're looking at it as I'm considering people who are licensed, I would generally recommend against that. But let's say it's the case. I'm only looking for licensed people and I will not talk to anyone who isn't. Great. You can add in if you're, of course, a property and casualty agent. You can add in, do you have a valid property and casualty insurance license? You can come back here, insert that question. You can score it, and then you can indicate the desired answer is yes. So then if you see applicants are coming back with a 100% score, you know that they're licensed. If they come back with 0%, you know that they're not, and you can move on from that candidate. Again, generally would advise against it, but if that's a deal breaker for you, then that's a deal breaker for you and go about your process as you wish, right? But again, resources to help you streamline this process to get through applicants faster, okay? Once we've got that added, we're going to go ahead and post. And then at that point, it's going to let her know our job ad will be posted within 24 hours, and we should start seeing applications come in right after that, okay? Now you have a couple different sharing options here because at Ideal Traits, we consider recruiting to be an and situation, not an or, okay? So you should be doing multiple things in order to get you in front of candidates. One of them, and the first one I'll highlight, is your unique ad link or your career page. So this is the job ad that we just created. Looks good. There's our questions. But the more attractive thing here is our career page, where you can fully customize this through Ideal Traits. You can add your logo, your business name, your company description, your picture, and then, of course, all of your available opportunities will be linked here with some additional information below. So what a lot of our clients will do is they'll send this out to their current employees, their family, their friends, maybe their current clients too as well, if that's a good referral source for you. And then, of course, anybody in your network or in your market that you would consider a good referral source for good candidates too as well, right? But oftentimes our network and our employees and our family and our friends are going to be the greatest resource and our greatest advocate when it comes to getting in front of more employees. So leveraging this tool to your best ability would be great. If you have a business card, you can take our QR code function, take that QR code, put it on the back of your business card. So then whenever you pass out business cards, if people scan the QR code on the back, they're taken to your career page where they're able to see the available positions you have open. Okay, so doing different things, being creative. Now, the next, of course, which is super important, is going to be your social media. 97% of consumers, when they're evaluating small businesses, they're doing it through social media. So candidates are doing the same thing. So having a presence on our social medias, creating those pages if we haven't already, making sure that we're posting regularly and we have good content on there is important. So we make this very easy for you. When you click share on Facebook, if you're already logged in, it's then going to pull up your Facebook. It's going to have your job ad attached. So then the hardest thing you have to do is create a paragraph mentioning about how you're looking for your next best salesperson. Okay. And again, you can do this on all three of those social medias that you see listed here. And can post more if you have other ones like Instagram or anything else you'd like to post to with your ad link as well. Okay. Now, this is where we get to the sponsorship. So through Ideal Traits, your job ads will be posted to Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Google for Jobs, Talent.com, Monster, and the potential of 100 plus other job boards at no additional cost. Ideal Traits is in a very fortunate position. We are one of 8 other applicant tracking system companies in the world that has a platinum relationship with Indeed. So what this means for you is you're going to get preferential placement on their job board to help you get in front of more candidates faster. Now, if you're in a position to where I need to hire immediately, like I need to hire someone a month ago, then sponsoring is going to be a really good way for you to be able to get in front of more candidates faster rather than just taking the organic approach. So Indeed, as you can see, requires a minimum budget of $50 a month, so very flexible there. And then ZipRecruiter is just a flat rate of $2.99 for 30 days. Now, if I go to Indeed, once I click it, our Indeed account is already connected. It's going to let me know and give me an Indeed campaign budget prediction. So it's telling me that for a budget of $48, I can expect to see 38 applications over the next 30 days, right? So everybody's budget's going to be a little bit different because we're all in different areas, right? I'm in Lake Orion, Michigan. You're going to be in a different place. So your budget prediction might be a little different, right? But doing this, you can invest $48 to get you in front of 38 applications. Let's say you hire 1 or 2 of those people. Think about the return on investment that's going to create for your business. think about the impact that that can make and the growth that you can see over the next 12 months, couple of years, when hiring on just one or two more qualified salespeople that can write a good amount of items for you each month. Okay. So again, investing into this is going to help you get in front of good qualified candidates faster. If you're in a position where it's like, hey, I've got 5 staff, I'm good, you should still be recruiting because the inevitable is going to take place to where either someone unexpectedly leaves or you grow to a point where you need to continue the momentum to bring on more people. So being prepared for that is the best position. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, we want to put ourselves in a position to hire candidates that we want, not candidates that we need. Okay. So again, sponsoring is an optional thing that you can do, but is a really good approach to help you get in front of more candidates. Generally, my recommendation is to post your job ad organically for a week or two, see the response that you get. And if sponsorship is a leap that you have to take it at that point. But Luis, did you sponsor your job ad at all, or did you just receive all of those applications organically?
No, I didn't sponsor at all. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I was in a hurry, but not that much in a hurry.
Mhm. So again, we have about, I would say, 3,000 job ads posted actively through Ideal Traits today, and only about 320 of them are sponsored, right? So most people go about this and are able to receive enough applications similar to Luis without having to sponsor. But evaluate your situation. Of course, I mentioned before, if you're posting a commission-only role, sponsorship is required, but it's something that you can invest into to help you find those good qualified talent. All right. So if anybody has any questions on job posting or how that works, I'm happy to go back to it. But let's take a look at reviewing a candidate profile. So I'll actually pull up Nathan's profile so you guys can take a look at it. But don't worry, Nate, I did change the contact information. So once I open this profile up, I'm able to see really all the information that I want, I'm going to have, right? So I have, of course, the position Nathan applied to. I'm going to have his contact information listed here. And then I'm also going to be able to subjectively star Nathan based on how I feel about him. Our system doesn't star them. You're able to do that for yourself. Okay. So you're able to subjectively star them and can filter them as such. Now, the next thing you're going to do, which is probably going to be one of the more important things in the process, is how do I communicate with the candidates? Of course, you have their phone number there, so you can always pick up the phone and call them, but you can send out emails directly through Ideal Traits too as well. And if you have email templates you'd like to add in, you can do that. And then you also have the ability to text the candidates directly through Ideal Traits as well. So texting has been shown to be about 60 times faster than emailing. And if, of course, I was to ask you all, if I sent you a text and an email, which one are you looking at first? It's always going to be the text, right? So incorporating that into your process is going to help you draw the attention and keep the attention of candidates to get them through the process. So again, you have more options to consider to be able to find your best fit. Now, on the left-hand side, we do have our menu, which is going to comprise of our resume, as you can see here. We have the answers to our pre-qualifying questions. And I know I mentioned candidate communication is going to be one of the more important things. The personality assessment, the ideal traits assessment is going to be the most important part. Because with hiring, posting a job ad and getting candidates is about 25% of the battle. The next 75% is identifying and evaluating who is going to be the best fit for your office. So through Ideal Traits, through all of our packages, we enable you with unlimited personality assessments. The reason we do this is because we want you to, one, assess your current staff, and then two, we want every single candidate to have the opportunity to complete the assessment so then you have an understanding of whether or not they'd be a good fit for your role. I'm sure we've all experienced this before, but just because someone has an insurance license does not make them qualified to sell in our businesses. And just because they have an insurance license does not make them qualified to service in our organization either. And Harvard Business School did a study that said 80% of the time when there's turnover in an organization, it's due to a lack of culture fit, not a lack of skills-based fit. So we may have a candidate that could be a good fit for a salesperson in my office, but not in Luis's, right? So we need to find people that best work with our team, our culture, because we've worked so hard to put together that culture and to put together the environment that we have at our offices. The last thing we would want to do is bring someone in who's going to compromise that. And oftentimes the example that I like to hold is if you could envision a triangle, triangle of course has 3 sides. On one side, it's reliable. The other side, it's proficient. And then on the bottom side, it's enjoyable. So what happens to candidates that are proficient at their job and reliable, but not enjoyable to work with? They get fired, right? Or they leave by themselves because they identify themselves as that toxicity, or you identify them, hopefully. And, God forbid, it gets to a point to where they're so not enjoyable to work with that they're pushing away all the other employees that you have at your office and they start looking for new positions, right? So again, I can't stress the importance enough of making sure you have a grasp on the strengths, the weaknesses, where the candidates best fit into your office, and where they're going to need your support. So with each different personality result, you're going to receive a result summary, which is this 3-paragraph outline that demonstrates exactly that. Their strengths, their weaknesses, where they best fit into your office, and where they'll need your support. If you feel as if this 3-paragraph summary isn't doing enough for you and you need more information, you of course can just simply click this Learn More button here, which is then going to take you to this article where you can watch this quick 2 to 3 minute video if you're more of a visual learner like me. Or of course, as you scroll, you can take a look at the additional information that's here and go through it. And then we even provide you with sample interview questions too as well that are behavior based. So if you're looking to have interview questions that are specific to the personality type, we can provide you with that too as well. All right. Now, our assessment is insurance specific, but it is based off the DISC behavioral exam. So it monitors motivation and drive, persuasiveness and convincing, structure and routine, and thorough and compliance. So you'll be able to look at the breakdown of these numbers to be able to see whether or not someone meets what you're looking for. Generally, for our sales positions, you see personalities like this: high motivation and drive, high persuasiveness and convincing. For our service-based roles, it's generally ideal to see high scores in the persuasive and convincing and the structure and routine, but a lot of them also happen to be thorough and compliant too as well, very structured, want to make sure that they adhere to all the processes, these types of things that we typically see from our more customer service focused individuals. Okay, so again, the assessment training is available. I did indicate the help that we provide earlier. We do have a help center that provides all the information that you might need or any question, any answers to your questions. You do have the ability to chat our team live. Our median response time is about 42 seconds, and our average satisfaction score is about 96. So our team is very effective at helping you in an efficient manner through this chat. If you have maybe baseline questions that you need assistance with, or you, of course, can always request a support call to schedule a 30-minute consultation with us, or you can specifically schedule an assessment training if you need more information on the assessment and want to be better equipped with knowing what you're looking at. So the assessment is one assessment, but it does have 3 parts. So you have your problem-solving portion here, which tracks the candidate's ability to critically think and to solve problems. Equally as important, right? Because we don't want somebody who's going to need us to be holding their hand throughout the way. We want somebody who's going to be creative, who's going to have the initiative to solve problems and to solve those problems by being self-resourceful. And then we, of course, do have the short answer portion, which is just 5 open-ended questions for you to be able to find out more about the candidates. Okay, so the last thing I'll show you here is the video interviewing feature, because a lot of times we hear from agents and businesses that are like, all right, well, I just feel like I'm getting ghosted, or I feel like I'm just interviewing a lot of unqualified people to where I talk to them and within the first 2 to 3 minutes, I know that they're not a good fit for my business. It's a very frustrating thing. So our video interviewing tool allows you to get more insight into the candidate before you actually bring them in for an interview or conduct a Zoom interview with them. So as you can see, as I click, you're able to ask up to 5 questions that you'd like the candidate to answer. At that point, you send them an invitation to complete the video interview, and then they record themselves so you're able to see them and hear them answering those questions that you've selected. So the cool thing about this and the feedback that we've got from both businesses and candidates alike is that the candidate completes this on their time and the business reviews it on their time too as well. There is no need for you to dedicate Tuesday at 2 or Wednesday at 3 or Thursday at 10 for a first interview, right? This can be your phone screen. This can be your first interview to where you're able to understand and hear from the candidate to understand if they're going to be a best fit for your office. So by the time the candidate has completed their process through Ideal Traits, they've uploaded their resume, they've answered your pre-qualifying questions, they've completed the assessment, and they, of course, have completed this video interview. Again, a really good way for you to be able to get more information on the candidates before, of course, moving forward with a formal set interview. And a lot of times, the qualified candidates that we're looking for, they're currently employed. They're working somewhere. So at that aspect, giving them the flexibility to complete this early in the morning or on their lunch break or later in the evening allows you, again, to get more candidates completing the process and showing up. Okay, so in terms of what you'll be using on a daily basis within Ideal Traits, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to be creating job ads and posting them. And then, of course, you're going to be reviewing candidates. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is our automated workflows feature, because this can simply streamline the process for you. Because again, time is a consideration too as well. How do we make this more efficient but not compromise on the effectiveness? So I've created an example workflow here for us to take a look at. So through Ideal Traits, you can create workflows to have actions happening in your Ideal Traits account without you actually having to execute them manually. They'll happen automatically just based off of this automation. So as you can see here, as I've indicated, once the assessment is complete and the personality result comes back as either a closer, a persistent, a sales leader, or a salesperson for of our most popular interview or our personality results for sales, the system is then going to wait 30 minutes and it's going to send an invitation to the candidate for them to complete the video interview for the remote sales representative position. So I've also created another example here that we can take a look at, which is for sending a text. When an assessment is complete, the system is then going to send a text on my behalf to say, hey, Nolan, thank you for completing the assessment. Please check your email for next steps. Right? So we can create these automations to have text messages, to have emails, to have video interviews sent out on your behalf without you having to execute these things manually. So again, making your process more efficient without having to compromise on the effectiveness. So Luis, at this point, I'll turn it back over to you so we can go over questions or anything that might have come up. But everything within the Ideal Trade system is a click or two away. So making this super easy for you is one of the main priorities. I'm sure Luis will talk a little bit about his experience using Ideal Trades directly. But again, investing into finding good qualified people is the greatest investment you can make. Better than any marketing strategy you could do, finding one or two or three more good people will better your agency for years to come. So, Luis, if anything else you want me to go over or
Yeah, no,
questions that you want
well,
to get answered?
here's what I want to share with you guys. So I think number one, agents, first question you need to ask yourselves is, what do I want to hire for? Okay, that's the first thing. Before you determine, what do you want a CSR, somebody to help with your servicing of your book of business, or do you want to duplicate yourself so you can increase your production? So that's the first question you need to ask yourself as an agent. What do I need help with? Or maybe you need to ask yourself, when I was young in this industry, 1999, 2000, somewhere in that 2001 starting, I had an agent and I was stressing out, and they're like, dude, you're not going to last in this business if you keep doing things that you don't like to do. Hire out what you don't like to do. People like to do. You'll find somebody for that position and they'll love it, and then go do things that you like to do. So you agents, number one, if you like the selling, then what you need to do is you need to hire for servicing. Get a service person, and then let them service your book so that you can sell. And then after you've got that service person, maybe go hire a producer that will help you with sales. And then you just kind of keep the cycle going. If you're that guy that's like, man, I'm going to sell because I have to, but I really don't like to. I like more customer servicing. I like more running the business. Well, then just hire producers. Okay. So you as an agent need to decide what's best for your agency and then hire for that position. Secondly, I think the next thing you need to do is you need to determine, okay, what's my pay scale? So I'm going to share a few things with you guys. I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah,
Give me
I'll unshare it for you.
1 minute. Let me find. Okay, here is mine. Okay, so this is my ideal traits that I'm sharing with you guys. Okay, and I'll share some of my people on here. So there I am. You see on my screen. Am I sharing the right screen? No, I'm not. I don't think I am. Are you all seeing the ideal trait screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Sometimes I don't know what I'm sharing. I got 3 screens. So you'll see me. I came back as a closer. Very interesting. Okay. These are some of my other people. Perfectionist. I had a competitor. I have 2 of my CSRs. They came back as nurturers. And then my 2 heavy producers are actually with a personality of sales leaders. So in my agency, I kind of, I think everybody's in the right role based on the personality. Now, this girl right here, Jamie, we're hiring her. She came back as a researcher. So when I click on her personality, let's see, are you guys now seeing that screen? Yeah. You'll see here that she is well suited for a customer service position. And that's exactly what I'm hiring for. Okay. I've got another guy that I'm making her an offer here, and I'll get into how we're going to compensate. But I've got another guy here. If I can find him, how do I get back? Okay, here we go. Ken Lankin came back as a networker. Okay, this guy's a financial services guy. He's got his investment licenses. I'm like, ooh, that's a weakness for me. I got my investment licenses, but I don't like doing it. Maybe he could take over and work my book of about 10,000 clients and start doing financial stuff. Well, his personality, when I click on this, came back with if hiring a network, it came back, it says a little proceed with caution, but I felt that this networker is going to be really, really good for doing what I want him to do. So you've got to start positioning. You've got to, and these are people that I talked to that I sent the assessment and they completed it. And I thought that was really, really good. Now, I'm going to share my comp plan. And I'll tell you guys, it's going to cost you. It's one of those things where if you invest some money, immediately you may not see the return, but what you're hoping for is down the road, you start seeing the returns. So in my agency, I like to call people profit centers or cost centers. They're going to make me money, they're going to lose me money. Okay, now retaining money is also a good thing because my CSRs, their job is to retain, help me not lose my people. So a dollar kept is a dollar earned. So they may not make me money right away, but they're keeping the back door closed. Okay. My producers, they have a production that they need to meet every single month. So I'm going to share what I use for that. And with ultimately the goal, I may not win at the beginning, but my ultimate goal is to win down the road. Okay. So check this out. And guys, if you got a question, you can unmute, ask them directly, or just put it in the chat and I'll get to it. All right, let me find my pay scale here. Okay, so, goodness, where is it? So many damn emails. Okay, here we go. I'm getting to it. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you. Let's see here. Okay, let's hop into this thing. And I saw a question pop up from Chef. So for new agents in the business, when is the ideal to start hiring? Okay, so I'll answer that, and then maybe and Nolan, maybe you can chime in on this too. So I always like to hire before I need to, and here's my philosophy on that. If I hire before I need that person, the goal is they're going to help me get there quicker. Okay. Some agents are the other way. Some agents are like, well, when I get there, then I'll hire. Whatever that there is. And I have, with doing this for so long, I always think that if you wait to hire when you get there, it's going to take you a hell of a lot longer to get there. Okay. Hire before. So, Chef, if you like selling, man, and you've got a book of business and you're starting to get phone calls with people wanting some customer service from you and you're spending time with that, well, that's taking time away from you selling. So hire somebody for that. Okay. And vice versa. Now, my customer service people are not just customer service people, they're customer service and sales people. So every call that they handle on the service side always gets flipped to a cross sell. Hey, by the way, Nolan, I notice you don't have this. If you do this, if we bundle whatever it is, if you're selling ACA, Nolan, I notice you do not have dental and vision. Okay. Why is it you don't have a dental and vision plan? Do you got it at work? Okay. I see you're wearing glasses, man. When's the last time you got your glasses checked? I've seen guys wear two glasses. They're that bad. Okay. They're wearing two of them on one on top of the other. I've seen it taped up. I mean, they're just managing. So cross sell, cross sell, cross sell, cross sell. So my customer service reps are making me money. Okay. So that's kind of how I look at it, Chef. Hit me right back up with a follow-up question if I didn't give you enough insight. All right, let's look at my comp plan. Now, this comp plan that you're seeing right here, guys, it's a little complicated, but it pretty much what it outlines, what I'm seeing on here is that let's see here. Let me get into it. Okay, no, I'm sharing the wrong one. Hold on, give me 1 minute. Okay, perfect. This is the one that I wanted. Okay, here we go. So this is an offer that I'm probably looking at making. So if you look at this, This is an agency ROI, a return on the investment. So I'm going to pay this guy out some money. Okay. And what am I going to get back in return? The numbers that I look at, and this is short term, this is very, very short term. I'm going to make really good money on this down the road. But immediately when I look at this, okay, if you look at the revenue generated, my guy needs to produce this amount of premium. So this is monthly premium. He's got to produce this much in life insurance. Okay. These are my estimated agent commissions for me. Okay. Then I get in here and I look at, okay, so what's this guy going to cost me? If I use this comp scale, this at paying him, at him doing this amount of production, you'll see here that I make no money, which I love. I love not losing money. Now, again, if I look at this, you're like, Luis, well, you're not making any money. I'm not making any money right now, but when my policies start renewing, I'm banking. I am truly banking. So I like to look at good numbers here. Now look at the compensation for my rep. Based on this level of production, he's making this much money a month. That's not bad money. And it's not costing me. It's like I got a guy and he's not making me any money. I mean, he's not costing me any money. Now, if he hits this level of production, he goes up and I actually make a profit, a measly $50. If he starts doing this amount of production, look what his income. He's almost increased his income by 2K in 1 month, and it hasn't cost me a penny. I'm actually eking out just a little bit of an income. Now, if this guy is just killing it, he's selling $60,000 a month in premium. He's doing about $4,000 a month in life insurance sales. He's making $8,100 a month. That's not chump change, guys. But that $8,100 that he made only cost me $100. You're like, well, Luis, you're not making any money immediately. But wait till all those policies renew. Well, then I'm banking at that point. So at this point, I can go to him and say, hey, Luis, or hey, Ken, and here's what I have for you. You're in control of your destiny. I'm giving this guy a little bit of stability with a base. Here's his base income, $3,500 a month. I'm giving him a base, but I'm giving him the opportunity to go sell. And he's got to meet these numbers. So it's a little bit of a kind of complicated little chart here, but this is what I look at. I want all my people to make me money. That's the bottom line. Make me, or how about this? Let me correct myself. I want all my people to not cost me any money because I can't print money. Okay. All right. Don't cost me any money. We're going to be good because I know I'm going to win down the road. Anything you want to add, Nolan?
No, I think that's great, right? And that example, I think you come at it from a very realistic approach, right? Where it's like once those renewals kick in, that's where I make the money, right? But I got to have somebody on that front lines doing it too as well. So, no, I mean, I appreciate you, Luis, for giving me an opportunity to go through ideal traits. And again, as you see, like there is no better investment that you can make. In the chat, I just put Nathan's contact information. So if you have questions, looking to go through the packages with us, how do I get started? Nathan's the guy to contact. And I did link that competitor benchmark report again, because then in order to craft that compensation and go through that, that can give you valuable insights into your area to help you understand what you need to be offering in order to get those good qualified people that can write the amount of items a month that you need to be able to create that return for you, not just in the long term, but then also possibly short term too. But crafting our compensation plans to be attractive for top candidates is exactly what Luisa just showed you, and that's such good information. So if you're looking at this and you're like, man, I kind of would like more of a recruiter approach, someone to kind of take all of this off my plate, we do have that as well. Nathan will be able to go through that with you in our virtual hiring assistant program. So if you're looking for a little bit more of a hands-off approach, we can help with that. If you're looking to go through exactly what Luis is going through to be able to, what'd you say, Luis, hire 3 people?
Well, right now I'm now even interviewed a girl yesterday,
Yeah.
came back with a trait. I can't remember what it was, but I'm like, okay, I think I can bring this one on too. So I may be hiring 4 people.
Yeah.
And
And how
again,
long?
you're like, Luis, how do you have that money? I mean, I got the money, but my game plan is not to use, I'm going to have to probably front maybe 1 or 2 months of this. And then after that, they should be off and running, almost breaking even for me every single month. And then when renewals start kicking in, then I'm going to start recouping what I invested the first month or two. Okay,
Yeah.
get my ROI back, and then I start winning.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other thing that I'll tell you guys. You want to be quick. You want to be slow to hire, quick to fire. Learn that real quick. Somebody comes into your agency and they're not a good fit for you. Okay. What you want to do, hey, let them go. Okay. I mean, the thing is you can't really change a lot of people. Okay. And they may change for the short term, but they're not going to change for the long term. Okay. So that's another piece of advice that I will tell you. Having 9 people here, bringing on 4 more, is you want to build a really good team. It's exciting when you got a team and they're having fun, and they're doing things for each other. They're like, oh, I want to do this. And it's just one of those, you want to build that culture. And you're right. I think you mentioned that, Nolan.
Yep.
You want to have a very good culture. And yeah, it's like raising a family. I look at my employees as like little freaking kids in my office. I mean, different personalities. They all got problems. And you got to play dad, mom to all of them, and try to keep that family happy so that they're not fighting with each other. It's it makes for interesting days. Guys, any other questions? You want to unmute, ask away? Come on, this is hiring time. Okay. You guys can connect with Nolan or with Nathan. He's the rep on there. Connect with him, and then I will tell you, be quick. Okay, make the decision. Be the agent that does this, guys. You want to be the agent that knows what that there is. Hire and have that person help you get there. You will get there a lot quicker. Everybody's there is different. Man, we either put these guys to sleep, bro, or they can't mute, or they don't have a keyboard.
Usually I like to chalk it up to we were too good at explaining everything, right?
Exactly.
So no questions. Yeah.
No questions. All right. Well, cool. Hey guys, I hope you all got a little something about this on this meeting. I know hiring is a beast. It's stressful. Dealing with a new hire, spend some time. My method is what I did is once I talked to them, I found out they had a good feel. What I did is I'm like, all right, you're done with me, but the interview's not over. You need to go talk to my people because you're going to be working with them. I get in my room and I kind of lock myself up and I do my thing. I'm like, go talk to them. And then I get the feedback from my people. Okay. You guys that are married, have your spouse talk to them if they're available. That's also key. Okay. Have your spouse. I mean, my spouse works here, so it worked out great. Hey, go sit with my wife. If you can get through my wife, you're going to be able to handle this thing. And then she'll come, she'll give me that look like, and I'm like, all right, if I get the thumbs down, no matter how good that person is, I can't battle my wife. Yeah. Not going to happen. All right. We got a comment on here. Okay. Very good. Okay. Here we go. How would Indeed rate compared to ideal traits with efficiency, results, and cost?
Yep. Yeah. So good question, Paul. So as I mentioned before, Ideal Traits does have that platinum partnership with Indeed. So you're going to get that preferential placement, which is going to get you in front of candidates faster. Generally, when it's considered like Ideal Traits, like for a basic plan, it's going to cost you $1,300 for the year. And you can hire as many people as you'd like. If you have any sort of affiliation, maybe with an independent brokerage, or if you represent farmers like Luis does, like depending on where it falls there could be affiliation discounts that are applicable for you. But reach out to Nathan. He'll be able to run you through the packages. He'll be able to talk through. But again, as I mentioned, there's 3,000 job ads posted through Ideal Traits. Only about 320 of them are sponsored. So a majority of people are able to post their job ads in order to get enough applications to suffice. I mean, you just heard it from Luis, never sponsors job ads, going to hire 4 people, right? So you can certainly do the same thing. You can certainly get the same amount of applicants coming in, and that should speak to the efficiency, the results. You heard it from Luis, but we've also helped over 18,000 other agents hire over 85,000 staff. And then package, again, that base plan is going to be $1,300 for the year. So the sponsorship, yep, I see your second question. The sponsorship is that additional budget that I showed that you would apply to your job ad. If you remember when I shared my screen, it showed that if you applied a budget of $48 for 30 days, you'd receive 38 applications. It's the same thing if you go to Indeed and you pay to post there. That's a sponsorship. So again, if you want us to break this down more with you, we can actually show you the example again. I'm sure Nathan would be happy to go through it with you. We could go through it to sort of take a look at what that would look like. But again, a majority of our folks don't have to sponsor. It's just something that could be good to do, especially if you need to hire urgently. So, what about DIG agency?
So
Uh,
the DIG agency, that's a little bit different. That's a David Duford group. I don't know how to answer that question. So what he does is he's a big final expense guy
sure.
in our organization, and he
Yeah.
hires people out for that. So who knows if he's using it? I'm not too sure, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. He's bringing on salespeople to
Yeah.
sell under his organization, something like that. So yeah, that's whole nother beast there.
Yeah.
Well, cool guys. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all being on today. Nolan, Nathan. Hey, thank you both for today. And yeah, contact Nathan. He'll help you out. You got his contact information. If you do the refer and earn deal, put my name on it. I may be able to
Yeah.
buy a cup of coffee with a referral. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll post the link on here. I think there's a forums here. We'll post it on the chat. So
Yep.
if you decide to do it, yeah, connect with these guys or Nolan, I guess you guys do your thing and we'll roll with that.
Yeah, if you put that refer and earn form in there, anybody who's interested in us reaching out, fill that out. Nathan will get the notification. He'll reach out to schedule a call with you so that we can do a personal consultation. Because, of course, what we talked about is sort of just using ideal traits pretty vaguely, but once applied directly to your specific situation, we can talk a little bit more about what your expectations should be and how it could work. But nonetheless, no matter really what you're hiring for or no matter where you're located, we can help you out. So reach out to us because the quickest to take action is the one that always wins predominantly, right? So taking this information, taking the action, making it happen, letting us help you. That's what we're here to do. So I look forward to for us to help all of you out. And any other questions or anything, feel free to reach out to us. But thank you again, Luis, for having us. It's much
You're
appreciated.
welcome.
Really do.
Thank
So
you,
thanks.
Luis.
All right. You're welcome. Take care, guys.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.